Welcome back, everyone. President Obama shifting blame again on the health care law to Republicans last night at a fundraiser dinner, saying the biggest barrier and impediment we have right now is a Congress, and in particular, a House of Representatives that is not focused on getting the job done for the American people. These remarks on the heels of the deadline for next year's Obamacare enrollment being moved to after the midterm elections. Joining us now to discuss, Fox News contributor Julie Roginski and David Webb, also a Fox News contributor. Okay, Julie, how do you get out of this one? Because, come on, hypocrisy alert times bazillion, right? It's the Republicans' fault now? Just a couple days ago, we were talking about this midterm election shift. Oh, let's not let those dismal numbers come out before Democrats are going to be voted on.
There's gambling going on in Casablanca. You're accusing somebody in Washington of hypocrisy. I can't believe it. Look, I mean, every side, both sides here, just need to stop focusing on re-election campaigns, but they're not going to. I mean, both sides are worried. Look, you have the Democrats like Mary Landrieu and others who are now panicking about Obamacare. It happens to be the vulnerable red state Democrat ones who want to fix. It's the Republicans who, because of their own internal politics and worried about primaries from the right, are not doing something on immigration reform.
Wait a minute, you're not talking about the president.
Whoa.
My question was, how does the president get away with doing what he just did at this fundraiser when his administration is the one who changed the date for the elections,
right.
David?
Well, let's go on the record. By the way, Julie just said something completely false and on the record. Republicans in the House have passed numerous bills on immigration, incremental bills, so you're wrong there. They've been voted on the congressional record. President Obama is playing the political game, and he's painting his enemy as someone to run away from. Look, I don't care if he wants to invoke his mother, the spirit of dead Indians. I don't care what it is. I want him to invoke the spirit of a free market economist and those things that have worked in America historically. And I'm with Julie on this. Politicians running for re-election, that's point number two. Let's face it, that's what they do. That's what happens. What I do care about, and this matters, I care about the millions of Americans who are going to lose their health coverage when the employer mandate kicks in. Millions more will lose them, and instead what we're talking about is not having solutions. But there's a third point here that matters.
He brought his paperwork.
Let's talk about the Democrats who voted 100% for Obamacare, supported delaying the employer mandate, are now pushing to delay the individual mandate. They're just plain CYA. They're simply covering, so they can get past the election, then they support it fully again.
In just a couple of minutes, the president actually going to be speaking about immigration out in California, and that brings me to the next topic, Julie, which is immigration. So now the president is out giving speeches not about health care, but about immigration. And you have to wonder again, if last week's nuclear option in the Senate was a tacit admission by this administration that they're not going to get anything done as far as an agenda anymore, except getting federal judgeship positions liberal, is that what's happening here? Is he really going to get immigration done?
Well, I think the Senate, actually, I know the Senate has passed comprehensive immigration reform. John Boehner keeps saying it's not dead, but it seems to me that it's dead. 2/3 of the American public, we just saw a poll coming out today or yesterday saying 2/3 of the American public, including the majority of Republicans, support a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants. The Republicans won't pose that legislation, despite the fact that you're saying they won't. David, I'm sorry, you didn't see that poll, but then you must be the only one in America.
David, based on the nuclear option that the Senate did last week, are Republicans going to work with this president?
Not likely, because what we have is a very polarized situation where the president says, I'm driving the car and this is the thing. And on the other side, look, if you want to have real compromise, you've got to go to the table, but you have to have an honest trading partner at the table. Immigration's a ploy. It's been a ploy all along, because when you look at what needs to be done with immigration, the Republicans who have passed a number of bills on this incrementally, and I've gone through these bills with the congressmen who've written them, have not been able to get them to the Senate for a debate. And what we see is a change in the relationship with people in government. They're not representing us. But here's something, this bill right here. This is Greta Van Susteren's one-page immigration bill, and I'm going to suggest to everyone that you Google it and you read it and you look at real solutions and things that work and things that can work with existing systems. And the Senate passed amnesty.
The Senate passed a bipartisan piece of legislation that 2/3 of the American public support.
But they disagree with how to go about it. The House wants to do it incrementally. The Senate would rather just have one big plan with the whole deal. Julie and David, have a great Thanksgiving if I don't see you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right.